Hello Year 7 and welcome to Working with Percentages. Okay, let's get started. So my first question is, if I scored 32 out of 40 on a test, what was my mark as a percentage? Please pause the video and see if you can work it out before continuing. Okay, so I hope you're all done. You've unpaused the video. Let's have a look. So what I do is I first write it as a fraction, 32 over 40, and I times it by 100%, and that's of course 3,200 over 40. I just cancelled a zero before doing my division to make it a bit easier, and then I've got 320 over 4, divide that, and it's 80%. It's a bit different from previously where we first converted 32 out of 40 into a decimal and then multiplied it by 100 by moving the decimal place. This time we've gone straight from a fraction to a percentage without going to a decimal in between. And as a bonus, here's another method of doing it. We could have said 40 times 2.5 equals to 100, and I can then do the same thing to the top of the fraction. 32 times 2.5 equals to 80. So we times the top and the bottom by the same thing, and we've got to times the bottom by something to make it 100. This only works with some numbers. Other numbers it's very difficult to do that with though. Okay, let's look at our next example. What is 7% of $80? So again, we're going to do this one by going straight from a percentage to the amount, and we're not actually going to use converting the percentage to the decimal first. Okay, so let's have a go. Pause your video, and okay, I hope you've unpaused it and you've got your answer. So what I do is 7% is 7 over 100. I times that by $80, okay? Whenever you see the word of, that implies a times, because remember before, if we wanted to find a half of something, we did a half times that thing, which is the same as dividing it by 2. And that becomes 560, because that's the 7 times the 80 is 560. 100's on the bottom of the fraction, and nice and easy, it's $5.60. Note this zero here. In previous videos, we'd just write this as 5.6 because we don't need the zero here to tell us what all of these numbers are worth and what position they're in, because the decimal point does it. But the reason I've got the zero here is because money is very often rounded to 2 decimal points just because we've got our dollars and our cents. Although it doesn't have to be, we can actually have our money having many more decimal points, for example with exchange rates and maybe stock prices. So it doesn't have to be to 2 decimal points, but with money we often do, because that's just what the money we carry in cash is often divided up into. Okay, so that's it. Let's take a look at some homework where you can practice this. So we're going to be doing Cambridge 8, exercise 4G. I just need to write that in there. 4G. And you're going to be doing questions 1 to 3, 4 to 12, and just the first column of 4 to 12. If you really want to do them all, you can, but you only have to do the first column. And question 14, 16, 18, and 20. Okay, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.